My parents canceled my birthday 12 years in a row from age 6 to 18 because my brother had baseball tournaments, no party, no cake, no gifts every single July. They took my college fund for his travel fees, missed every school event. I cut them off at 18. Now brother's career failed and they want me back. I said no and they call me ungrateful. I missed my own birthday 12 years in a row. Not because I was sick. Not because we were struggling financially. Not because anything was wrong with me. Because my brother had a baseball tournament. Every single year. From the time I was 6 years old until I turned 18. My birthday was cancelled. Forgotten. Pushed aside. Treated like an inconvenience that had the bad timing to land during tournament season. No party. No cake. No candles. No gifts wrapped on the kitchen table. No happy birthday sung over breakfast. Nothing. Just my parents loading up the minivan with Tyler's equipment bags while I stood in the driveway watching them leave. My name is Cassie. I am 23 years old. I have not spoken to my parents in 5 years. I have not spoken to my brother in 5 years. And I have not missed a single birthday since. Let me explain how this started. Because it did not begin with cruelty. It began with what my parents called sacrifice. What they called opportunity. What they called doing what was best for the family. Tyler was talented. I will give him that. By the time he was 8 years old, coaches were using words like exceptional and future and potential. My parents heard those words and something shifted in them. Something that was never fully about our family again. Travel baseball is expensive. Tournaments every weekend from March through October. Hotel rooms. Entry fees. Equipment. Uniforms. Private coaching. It consumed everything. Our weekends. Our finances. Our dinner table conversations. Our family identity. We were not the Henderson family anymore. We were Tyler Henderson's support system. I was 6 when it first happened. My birthday is in July. Right in the middle of tournament season. My mom sat me down the week before and explained it carefully. Gently. The way you explain hard things to small children. Sweetheart, Tyler has a really important tournament this weekend. It is a qualifier. If he does well, it could open so many doors for him. We have to go support him. We are going to celebrate your birthday when we get back. I promise. I was 6. I believed her. We did not celebrate when they got back. There was another tournament the following weekend. Then school started. Then it was just gone. Just a birthday that did not happen. I told myself it was a one-time thing. It was not a one-time thing. Year after year the same conversation happened. Sometimes gentle. Sometimes impatient. Once, when I was 11 and I pushed back harder than usual, my father looked at me across the kitchen table and said something I have never forgotten. Cassie, Tyler has a real chance at something here. A scholarship. A career. Something that matters long-term. Your birthday is one day. His future is his whole life. We need you to understand that and stop making this harder than it needs to be. One day versus his whole life. That was how my father explained my worth in comparison to my brother's. I stopped pushing back after that. Not because I understood. Because I learned that pushing back did not get me a birthday. It just got me a lecture about sacrifice and perspective and being a supportive sister. So I got quiet. And I stayed quiet. For years. What I want you to understand is that it was not just birthdays. The birthdays were the most obvious thing. The clearest proof. The thing I could point to and say, look, this happened 12 years in a row, here is the evidence. But it was everything. School plays that my parents missed because Tyler had practice. Parent-teacher conferences rescheduled or skipped because Tyler had a showcase. Family vacations that were really just road trips to tournaments in other states where I sat in hotel rooms doing homework while everyone else watched Tyler play. Christmas was baseball-themed. Every year. New equipment. New gear. New training aids. I received practical things. Clothes. School supplies. 1 year a dictionary. My parents attended every single one of Tyler's games. Home and away. They drove hours. They sat in bleachers in freezing April weather and scorching August heat. They cheered and filmed and celebrated. I cannot remember the last school event my parents attended before I stopped inviting them. At some point I just stopped mentioning things. A honor roll certificate I brought home. A short story I wrote that my English teacher entered in a district competition and won. A lead role in the spring musical junior year that I did not tell them about until after the show closed. Why would I tell them? They would not come. Or if they came they would spend the whole time checking their phones for updates from Tyler's tournament 3 states away. I learned to celebrate myself. Quietly. Alone. My friend Maya understood. She had known me since 4th grade. She was the one who started a tradition with me. Every July, on my actual birthday, we would go to the diner on Maple Street and she would bring a cupcake with a candle and we would sit in a booth for 2 hours and she would make me feel like my existence was worth acknowledging. That diner booth meant more to me than anything my parents could have given me. Because someone showed up. Someone chose to be there. Someone thought I was worth the effort. I used to wonder what it would feel like to have parents who felt that way. The summer I turned 16, my parents had what they called a family meeting. Tyler had been recruited by a competitive travel program. The fees were significant. They were restructuring the family budget. My college savings account was being redirected. "We know this is hard to hear," my mom said. She was using her careful voice. The one she used when she was about to tell me something she knew was wrong but had already decided to do anyway. "Tyler's program costs are significant, and this is a time-sensitive opportunity. We are going to pause contributions to your college fund temporarily. Just until we get through this next phase of his career." What does temporarily mean? Until things stabilize. Things never stabilized. My college fund was gone. Tyler's program fees were paid. I applied for every scholarship I could find. I took out loans. I worked 20 hours a week my entire time in college. Tyler never worked a day during his baseball career. My parents made sure of that. They did not want anything interfering with his focus. My focus apparently did not require the same protection. I turned 18 on a Saturday in July. Tyler had a tournament. Of course he did. My parents left Friday afternoon. My mom hugged me at the door. "We will celebrate when we get back. I promise. We will do something special." I nodded. Said okay. Watched the minivan back out of the driveway. Then I went inside. Sat at the kitchen table. And thought about 12 years of that same moment. 12 years of watching them leave. 12 years of promises that never became anything real. 12 years of being told in 100 quiet ways that I was the less important child. I thought about my college fund. About the school plays. About the spring musical they never knew I performed in. About the honor roll certificates on my bedroom wall that my parents had never once asked to see. I thought about my father's voice saying your birthday is one day and his future is his whole life. And I made a decision. Maya came over that afternoon. We ordered the good pizza. Watched movies. She brought a real cake this time, not just a cupcake. Chocolate with buttercream frosting. She put 18 candles on it and made me unpack them all out. "What did you wish for?" she asked. "To stop waiting for people who are never going to show up," I said. I meant it. My parents came home Sunday night. My mom came into the living room with that familiar energy. The post-tournament high mixed with the memory that she owed me something. "Okay, birthday girl. We are thinking dinner out next weekend? Somewhere nice?" I looked at her. Really looked at her. I had been practicing what I wanted to say for 2 days. "I do not want dinner next weekend. We could do the Italian place you like." "Mom. I do not want dinner next weekend. I do not want a belated celebration. I do not want a rain check. I am 18 years old. You have canceled my birthday every single year of my life because Tyler had a tournament. For 12 years. And I am done pretending that is okay." She blinked. "Cassie. I am done. I have been done for a long time. I just was not old enough to do anything about it." My dad appeared in the doorway. "What is going on?" "Your daughter is being dramatic," my mom said. And that was it. That was the moment I understood completely. Even now, even in this moment, her instinct was to minimize. To dismiss. To make it my problem for having feelings about it. "I'm not being dramatic," I said. My voice was steady. I was proud of how steady it was. "I'm telling you that I have spent 18 years being treated like the less important child. And I am not willing to continue that relationship. I am leaving for college in 6 weeks. When I leave, I will not be maintaining regular contact." "You are being ridiculous." "I am being honest. There is a difference." I went to my room. Locked the door. And for the first time in as long as I could remember, I felt something that was not the quiet, dull ache of being overlooked. I felt like myself. The 6 weeks before college were tense and strange. My parents alternated between pretending nothing had happened and making small attempts to course correct. My mom bought me a birthday cake. Left it on the counter with a card. I ate a slice. Did not say thank you. Not because I wanted to be cruel. Because a cake 3 weeks after my birthday after 12 years of nothing felt like too little pointed directly at too late. My dad tried once. Knocked on my bedroom door. Sat on the edge of my desk chair with his hands clasped together. "I know we have not always gotten the balance right," he said. I waited. Tyler's career required a lot from all of us. We asked a lot of you. Maybe more than was fair. Maybe, I said. He nodded. Seemed to think that was enough. Got up. Left. That was the closest thing to an apology I ever received. It was not close enough. I left for college on a Tuesday in late August. My parents helped me move into my dorm. My mom cried a little at the door. My dad shook my hand. I watched their car pull out of the parking lot. It felt nothing like the driveway. It felt like the first breath after being underwater for a very long time. I called them twice that first semester. Holidays, because Maya told me I should at least try. The calls were polite and empty. My mom talked about Tyler's new program. My dad asked about my grades. Nobody asked how I was actually doing. After Christmas, I stopped calling. They noticed eventually. My mom left voicemails. Then texts. Then a long email that used the word ungrateful 4 times and the phrase after everything we did for you twice. After everything they did for me. I read it once. Then deleted it. That was 4.5 years ago. I built a life. Quietly. On my own terms. I finished college. Took out loans my parents were not helping with anyway. Got a job. A real one. Moved into an apartment with 2 roommates I actually liked. Adopted a cat named Fig who sits on my laptop when I am trying to work and has never once canceled a birthday. I have a therapist named Dr. Okafor who helped me understand that what happened to me had a name. That growing up as the invisible child while a sibling receives everything does measurable damage. That the way I learned to disappear myself, to stop mentioning achievements, to celebrate alone in diner booths, were coping strategies for an environment that was not safe for my needs. Understanding it did not fix it. But it helped me stop blaming myself for it. Maya is still my best friend. Last July she let go me a real birthday party. 12 people. Streamers. A cake with my name on it. People who sang to me and meant it. I stood in her living room surrounded by people who chose to show up, and I thought about 12 years of empty driveways. And then I thought about something else. Because 2 weeks before my 23rd birthday my mother called from a number I did not recognize. I answered by mistake. She started talking before I could hang up. Cassie. Please do not hang up. Something has happened with Tyler. I need to talk to you. I should have hung up. I know that now. But something in her voice was different. Not the careful voice. Not the managing voice. Something cracked and unfamiliar. I stayed on the line. What happened? His shoulder. He had surgery 8 months ago and the recovery has not gone well. He is not going to be able to pitch at the level he was. The scouts have stopped calling. The program dropped him. I waited. Because I knew there was more. There is always more when my mother calls. We are in a difficult position financially. The years of travel fees and the private coaching and the equipment. We made some decisions based on Tyler having a professional career and those decisions are coming due and we were hoping. No. Cassie. No. Whatever you are about to ask. No. We are not asking for money. We are asking for a relationship. Your father and I want to repair things. Tyler is struggling. He needs his family around him. We thought if we could all come together. You thought a family crisis involving Tyler would make me want to come back. Because that is the pattern, right? Everything is about Tyler. Even the reconciliation attempt is about Tyler. Silence on the line. That is not. Is he struggling? Yes. Is that genuinely hard? Yes. Do I feel sorry for him? In the way I would feel sorry for anyone who worked towards something and had it taken away by injury, yes. But that has nothing to do with me coming back into a family that spent 18 years treating me like I was not worth showing up for. We made mistakes. You canceled my birthday 12 times. You took my college savings. You missed every school event I ever had. You told me my brother's future was more important than my entire childhood. And you want me to come home because his career did not work out. My voice was steady. I was proud of how steady it was. Just like that night at 18. Some things stay with you. I am sorry, my mother said. I had waited 23 years to hear those words. They landed in me and found nothing to hold on to. Too much time. Too much distance. Too much of my own life built carefully in the space their absence left. I hear you, I said. I am still not coming back. I ended the call. I want to be honest about what happened after I hung up. Because this is not a story where I felt triumphant. Where the boundary felt clean and satisfying. Where I went back to my apartment and celebrated. I sat in my car in the parking garage for 40 minutes. I cried. Not for them. For the version of this that never happened. The one where my parents noticed what they were doing while there was still time to stop. Where my dad knocked on my door at 16 instead of 18. Where my mom put a candle on a cake when I was 7 and meant it. I cried for the little girl who stood in the driveway every July and watched the minivan leave and told herself next year will be different. She deserved better. She deserved so much better. And then I dried my face. And I drove home. And Fig sat on my chest while I watched television, and I thought about the life I had built without them, and I thought it was pretty good actually. Considering. My parents did not stop trying after that call. My dad sent a letter. Handwritten. 4 pages. He wrote about regret and perspective and understanding things too late. He wrote about watching me grow up through the distance I had created and being proud of who I had become. He wrote about Tyler's struggles with his identity now that baseball was gone. He wrote about my mom's health. Some issues. Nothing critical, but a reminder that time was passing. I read the whole letter. I read it twice. Then I put it in a drawer and I called Dr. Okafor. He wrote a good letter, I told her. How did it make you feel? Like he finally understands what he did. And also like understanding it now does not give me back anything I lost. Those two things can both be true. I know. That is what makes it hard. She asked me what I wanted. Not what I thought I should want. Not what a forgiving person would want. What I actually wanted. I thought about it for a long time. I want them to understand that I am okay. That I built something real. That I am not sitting somewhere broken and waiting to be rescued. I want them to know I am fine without them. And then I want to continue being fine without them. Is there any version of a relationship with them that feels okay to you? I thought about my mother's voice on the phone. Still centering Tyler even in the apology. Still framing the reconciliation around his needs. No, I said. Not right now. Maybe not ever. And I think I have to be okay with that. Tyler reached out 3 months after my mother's call. A text. Simple. More direct than I expected from him. Hey. I know I have no right to reach out. Mom told me she called you. I am not calling to ask you to come back or to make you feel guilty. I just wanted to say I am sorry. For being the reason our parents treated you the way they did. I knew it was happening. I was a kid and I liked being the favorite and I never said anything. That was wrong. You deserved better. I am sorry. I read it 4 times. Tyler and I were not enemies. We were never enemies. He was a child too, shaped by the same parents, rewarded for existing in a way I was not. He did not design the system. He just lived inside it comfortably while I suffocated. But he knew. He said it himself. He knew and he said nothing. I typed back, thank you for saying that. I mean it. I hope you find something that makes you feel the way baseball used to. He responded with a single word, thanks. That was the most honest conversation I have ever had with my brother. I do not know what it means for the future. Maybe nothing. Maybe someday something. But it was real. And real felt like more than I had ever gotten from that family before. Here is what I want you to understand about the aftermath of growing up the way I grew up. The damage is not loud. It does not announce itself. It lives in small places. It lives in the way I apologize before asking for anything. The way I assume I am inconveniencing people by having needs. The way I feel vaguely guilty when someone does something kind for me, like I have not earned it, like they will realize their mistake and take it back. It lives in the way I used to date. Gravitating toward people who were emotionally unavailable because unavailable felt familiar. Familiar felt like home. It took years of therapy and one relationship that Dr. Okafor helped me exit carefully to understand that I had been recreating my family dynamic in my romantic life. It lives in the fact that I spent 3 years in college not telling anyone when I accomplished something because I had learned so young that my accomplishments did not register with the people who were supposed to care. I am working on all of it. Slowly. Imperfectly. But I am working on it alone. Without my parents. Because some foundations are too damaged to build on. Because sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is stop trying to get water from a well that was never going to give you any. My 23rd birthday was 2 weeks after my mother's call. Maya let go the party I mentioned. 12 people. Streamers. The cake with my name on it. At some point in the evening I stepped out onto Maya's back porch for some air. The night was warm. Someone inside was laughing at something. The kind of laugh that fills a whole room. I stood there and I thought about every July of my childhood. The minivan backing out. The empty house. The diner booth with 1 cupcake and 1 candle. And then I thought about what I was standing inside of right now. A life I built. Friends who showed up. A job I was proud of. A cat who needed me. A therapist who asked the right questions. A version of myself that had survived being overlooked for 18 years and come out the other side knowing her own worth. My parents wanted me back because Tyler's career failed. Because the thing they sacrificed everything for, including me, had not paid out the way they planned. And in the rubble of that they remembered they had another child somewhere. I was not interested in being remembered in the rubble. I went back inside. Someone handed me a drink. Maya put her arm around me. The person who had been laughing started another story and the whole room leaned in. I leaned in too. My mother texted last month. Short. No manipulation this time. No Tyler. Just 4 words. I miss you, Cassie. I looked at it for a long time. Then I put my phone down and went to make dinner and fed Fig and called Maya about something completely unrelated. I did not respond. Not because I felt nothing. But because feeling something and acting on it are different things. And I have learned, slowly and at significant cost, to be very careful about the difference. Maybe someday. Maybe never. I do not know yet. What I know is this. I spent 12 birthdays watching a minivan pull out of a driveway. 12 years of being told that my existence was less urgent than my brother's schedule. 12 years of learning to make myself small and quiet and easy and undemanding. And then I spent 5 years learning to take up space again. I am not giving that back. Not for a letter. Not for a text. Not for a family that remembered I existed when the thing they chose over me stopped working out. My birthday is in July. This year I will be 24. And every single person at my party will be someone who has never once needed a reason to show up. That is not a small thing. That is everything.